Wade is guarding Bryant. Artest looking, gets it to Bryant. Bryant dribbling, has to put it up with the buzzer. Banks it in! He banks in the three! And the Lakers win the game!
Good morning, Syndicate members. What is happening, man? It's Wednesday. That's right. That means it's 9 a.m. and we are live right here at Syndicate headquarters from Austin, Texas. My name is Tony Merwin. That is Joe Camper at the Tower of Power and the king of Facebook and trucking insurance.
Let's go.
Hope y'all are having a fantastic day. As you can hear, he's ready.
I am ready. Happy winning on Wednesday, Insurance Syndicate. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. If you can, drop it in the comments that you can hear and see us. And you guys will have a special treat. Maybe we'll make everybody that's doing this. I wish we could have like people that were watching also on camera too, so we could see some of y'all's reactions.
If they could see our guest backstage,
Yes.
like the antics that he's pulling right now, only for our viewing pleasure would be.
Exactly. But happy winning on Wednesday. As always, we appreciate y'all. And as always, shout out to Viva Virtual Solutions. We appreciate you, Rob Lopez and Lily Davies, and everything that you do for us here within the Insurance Syndicate, as well as for our organization at Clearview Insurance. If anybody is, and actually I've seen an uptick when it comes to virtual assistants and how you can utilize them within your organization. So definitely, if you're interested or even in the, I guess, in the discovery phase of like who you should work with when it comes to virtual assistants, highly recommend Viva. They do an amazing job, obviously, here within Syndicate, so they can do media type production stuff. They can do policy reconciliation, commissions, payroll. I mean, you name it. And then obviously a ton of the administrative side of things. So shout out to Viva. We appreciate you. Thank you, as always, for being the main sponsor of the show. And as you guys know, before we kick off, we got to get into it because you know what time it is. It's time to drop those weekly wins in the comments. Drop those in the comments. We want to celebrate y'all. Drop them in. Weekly win, baby. Mr. Merwin. What you got for us?
Who was number one networking leader at their BNI chapter meeting yesterday for the month? Who? Yo was. That means I get not 30 seconds, but I got a 60-second commercial yesterday, which you don't realize how much more you can say in your little 30-second advertisement in a BNI group, networking group like that until they double it to 60 seconds. And I didn't know that I was going to have 60 seconds yesterday. So I showed up just in my brain with my normal 30-second little pop. And then I find out like, hey, networking leaders for the month, Tony Merwin, number one with the most one-to-ones. I also had most referrals and most other shit. Like I was numero uno. I've only been in that group 8-9 weeks. I'm already taking it over.
Let's go.
But I was sitting there and I started panicking. It's like I've been on 26 stages in 12 months, and I was panicking because I didn't have 60 seconds prepared. I was like, holy shit, what am I going to say now? I only had 30 seconds. But nonetheless, it was cool. I did it, of course, slammingly. But it was nice to get recognized yesterday. I had no idea that was coming.
Absolutely. That's good for you. And I know, well, that's been part of your short-term destination. So
yes, sir, it has.
Getting those knocked out, and there it is, coming to fruition. Nice work. Nice work. Go ahead, drop those in the comments, y'all. We want to be able to celebrate you. What's up? Oh, let's see. Jessica, first trucking policy bound from cold calls. Let's go,
Boom.
Jess. Come on now. See, look at that. It didn't take that long either. I'm super proud of you on that one. That's a good deal. It's 7 on the West Coast. What's up, Sean? What's up, Lily? I see you back there. What's up, Victor? Good to see you, brother. My weekly win, man. I've got 2. because last night, dude, I was so freaking hype, but it was horrible because it was the late game, so I didn't get to go to bed until like 1 o'clock because I was just fucking hype. But first weekly win. My daughter had her first day at kindergarten on Monday, so that was a bittersweet yet very proud dad moment. She instantly came home from school and was like, "Dad, this is how the galaxy works, and Mars is hot and red, and then this is snow, and then it all just goes away." And I'm like, absolutely, Laura. But it was, hey, at least she knows Mars is red and hot. So I'll take it. That was definitely a big win for me and just and the wifey too. Just seeing her all grown up and being freaking 5 years old going to kindergarten. Crazy.
I remember being 5 years old and getting dropped off at kindergarten for the first time.
I screamed and cried, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I did not. I was like totally cool. I was like, what is going on? And there were kids like you screaming and crying.
Yeah,
I was like, what is wrong with these snowflakes, man?
I did not like it my first day. But then my second win, softball, baby. So we had the late game last night, 9:20 game. We are tied. Last at bat, no time left. And I hit one to the freaking fence and ended up winning the game, baby. And then there was almost a fight in the parking lot because the players were pissed off. They didn't even shake our hands or anything. It was super corny, but I felt freaking hyped because I mean, I played pretty decent the whole game.
Walk-off homer to
but
win
the walk-off, dude, and it felt so freaking good, man. And I walked into the house, and Maria's like, dude, you need to be quiet. Like, it is late. The kids are sleeping. I'm like, I don't care, baby. I just freaking won it. So that was my win. I know it's corny slow pitch softball, but man, it's a lot of fun. It's a great community out there, and you guys would be amazed. I swear, every time I go out there, I drum up some business. So
you ever struck out in slow pitch softball?
I have. I did one time.
Kind of embarrassing. And then, like, what are you supposed to say? What do your friends say to you? Hey, man,
you don't say anything. You show up with a case of beer the next game. That
guy throws a wicked 12-foot arc. I mean, it's really hard to hit in only 3 tries.
Oh gosh, Tony. I love it. Well, I'm seeing all the comments drop in again. My son passed his exam to be a dentist. Right on, Lily. That's freaking awesome. Congrats to him.
Yes.
That's a good deal. I love hearing that. Kudos to him. And again, just keep those dropping in the comments. We would love to celebrate y'all. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the show. We've got an awesome guest for y'all. You guys have probably seen him around, but he has been making some moves and making some waves here recently, just within the insurance industry and just everything that he's doing. He's a good friend of ours. He's an amazing industry peer. So we're excited to have on Dr. Matthew Murray. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Or it ain't live, the man himself.
I appreciate it, guys. I am incredible. How are y'all?
And if I was doing any better, I would probably fall down in fits.
Love that. Do you want to hear my win?
Let's hear it.
There's a hurricane going on outside. And where I live is like East Coast. But I live in Murrayville, North Carolina. And there is no rain currently.
Really?
We went to volleyball last night. I was like, either we're in the eye of the hurricane and somehow it just is like passing us, but there's currently no rain, no nothing. And I'm like, what a blessing.
Yeah.
So it's like the luckiest thing in the world.
That's why you still have signal to hop on the show with us today with the Insurance Syndicate. Let's go.
Man, I appreciate the invite. I think I called you, was it Friday sometime, Joe? I can't remember what we were talking about, but you're like, hey, real quick, podcast on Wednesday. And I was like, done.
Yeah. Let's go, dude. I love it. So, well, dude, real quick, for those who don't know who Dr. Matthew Murray is, and guys, Dabber, it isn't live, and so it is live. It's funny, it's not going to work when I repurpose this later, but Dabber, it isn't live. Murray, real quick, man, for anybody that maybe hasn't seen you around, hasn't had the pleasure of getting to meet you, who is Matt Murray, man? Give us a 30,000-foot overview of yourself.
Well, 9 months ago, I would have told you I was the lead guy for IFG. Because that's mostly what I was known for was, helping vertically integrate a lot of their marketing departments. And I was mostly known for making leads all throughout the industry. But I had to rebrand myself, if you will, and kind of get away from that and become something different. So, I say it took me 9 months because I had to be born again in the space. Right. And so now I have my insurance agency, which is the insurance platform. Currently, we have around 350, maybe 400 agents that are onboarding.
Come on, dude.
Since March or April. And then I also have my marketing/coaching program that I do for business owners, but mostly in the insurance space because I've had this Rolodex of people that I've worked with. And I was just on a call and I said, hey, look, man, this isn't the place for you, but I'm going to connect you with somebody that I think will be a great upline for you. And I think that doing it that way just helps furthermore, do the right thing in the business. Because, if you just lie to everybody and say, oh, we're going to be the best upline for you all the time, you're lying to yourself as well as to the person that you're talking to. And so a lot of what I do is just have one-on-one conversations with people and just coach them through their business no matter where they're at because of what I've done at my previous position.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the reasons I love Murray, him and I see very eye to eye on that whole concept. And same way you treat your clients, you should treat the agents that you're working with, whether you're working directly with them or not, man. If I can't help you, I ain't hurting you.
That's exactly right. I'm at least going to get you to somebody that can help you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not a one size fits all, right? And I think that's important to understand and very similar to me too. Like I can tell when I'm getting on a call, like, yeah, I just ain't like it's not going to make sense, for us. But I do have somebody, right? And that's one of my favorite things too, is that kind of that relation. It's a lot of people like the deal broker. I love relationship brokering, man. Like there's nothing better than when you make a connection and then it's like, 6 months down the road, they're like, dude, you changed everything for us by making that introduction. Like, thank you so much. I was actually just having that conversation with some other agents yesterday as well. Like there's so much power in those relationships. And I think there's a lot of humility there as well. And there's a lot of swallowing of the pride and getting rid of the ego when it is, I think there's ways that we could pitch ourselves, our organizations in order to win the agent or to make the deal happen. When in fact we all know it's going to crash and burn 3 months down the road. Right. And so, kudos to you on that. And so Matt, real quick though, man, I want you to talk about, well, I guess before we get into that, give us like some of your expertise. So obviously the guy's like a freaking wicked GHL builder, like the shit that you can do on that side of things when it comes to automations and integrations and emails and blah, blah, blah. I mean, you name it, this guy's a genius with it. Can you go through just some of what we'll call your expertise, right? Or the things that you kind of excel in?
Yeah. So a lot of it is Facebook ads. A lot more of it is the marketing, but what I consider it to be more of is the client experience. Right. So when I first started making Facebook ads, I would sit down and I would sell the insurance. I'd go, look, I know you're going to buy insurance from me because why the hell else would you fill out this form on Facebook? This is 8 years ago, right? When I first started doing it. So I learned what was making people click on the ad. And I took copious notes with hundreds, if not thousands of clients. Then it became, what is the client experience after? So when I learned what Go High Level was, it was like, oh, okay. If this happens every time I fill out a form, I'm getting 8 messages as a senior citizen because I made myself a 64-year-old man on Facebook to see what it was like. I was like, okay, I want to make that better. So I really focused on the client experience all the way through from viewing the ad all the way up to being a client and then post being a client, all the way through the whole retention. So I focused a lot of my time on the client experience. And a lot of that is Go High Level automations. A lot of that was psychology of ads and how to brand yourself and what is the client or person perceive you as in the business. And so if you're just an agent, you're just, you're in your hometown, you can learn to be a hometown hero if you want to be. You can learn how to be an FMO if you want to be. But you got to learn, you got to start learning how to brand yourself. And then what is the client perception of you?
Yeah.
And it takes time to learn that. And that's what I try to teach people. But a lot of what I do is psychology on advertisements and automations through Go High Level.
Talking
Go ahead.
about clients' perception of you, what do you think is the ideal perception your client should have of you?
You want to be a beacon of light in the darkness of the industry. So there's tons of content all the time.
Sure.
Right? We're all gaining for attention. Even what we're doing right now, we're gaining for attention to get people to look at us, right? But you want to be the person goes, oh, I think that person has something that I want and I want to reach out to them. When they reach out to you, and this is I'm going to give you guys this for free. Marketing, the best lead is the one that reaches out to you.
Sure.
So if you can be this beacon of light of, hey, reach out to me, it doesn't mean that you're going to be the one that's going to help them, but you have an award-winning team behind you. That's what you want to focus on. So the perception needs to be, hey, it's okay to reach out to me. It's okay if you've gone through this, this, and this. It's okay to reach out to me and talk to me about what you've got going on. If you have questions about insurance, if that's what you want to be, if you want to be selling insurance, let people know what you do and let them know it's okay to reach out to you and have authentic questions or weird questions. Because I've had it all the time. People go, hey, transparently, I don't know crap about this, this, and this, but I don't know who else to talk to because I feel like everybody's going to laugh at me. No issues at all. I'm here to help.
Right.
So you want to be that person that people go to. Whenever I think about Tony Merwin, I'm thinking about the guy on stage. I'm thinking about a master MC. I'm thinking about Avila, Medicare Solutions. I'm thinking about the Spanish market, right? But he has branded himself as that over time. And so the perception has to be that consistently.
I think when you just said that too, it instantly made me think of a lighthouse. When you say, you know, that beacon of light, it's like, dude, and again, depending on the space that you're in, for property and casualty right now, it is like, I mean, there is like a hurricane going on. The ocean is stirring, dude. It's people are trying to navigate those waters and having somebody again that they can trust. And I think that's also important because obviously we're not the only ones in our space selling these products, right? All of us have, for the most part, the same products. So then why are they coming to Joe? Why are they coming to Tony? Why do they come to Matt, right? And I think ultimately that goes based off of the client side of things when we're actually selling the insurance product. It also goes to the recruiting side of things. Is it, hey, throw them out and see who swims, right? And like see who sink or swim style? Or is it, hey, I'm going to help navigate the waters and I'm going to help you find the channel where it's a little bit more calm, right? Or, I mean, all the things that I think go into it to really help an agent be successful. But also, again, for the client as well, for them to have that perception of, because I think, again, let's talk about maybe a renewal, right? When a policy goes to renew, rate goes up. I send it to my award-winning team. We shop it out. Hey, turns out you're in the best place possible. Do they actually trust that and believe that? Or do they go and try to find somebody else? Or do they cut coverage and go to like Geico or something like that right online? Do they go to a call center? Whatever that might look like, when you're that beacon of light, they trust that. I think that's the important piece too, is when you help them navigate those waters, the trust that is instantly built there. Like when they're like, dude, I can confide in Matt, right? And I can really like tell him what's going on. Yeah, that's true. Super.
You got it. You know, there's a wave of information because everybody's trying, they're trying to do the same thing. So it's a blue ocean strategy. It's like, how do you separate yourself from everybody else, but also do the same thing, right? But in the wave of all this attention, you know, you want to be here standing up and it's like, oh, there's that guy that's always consistent. I know I can reach out to him and have true questions. I can have real conversations. And I know that I'm going to get authentic answers every single time because you've been doing it.
Yep.
Yeah. And it takes time to build that reputation to do that, but it's something that you can start doing now in your agency. And a lot of it is, and this is, again, let's call it a secret, is when you get those people that are going, oh my goodness, I can't believe you just told me that, or that was really good. Get those authentic reviews and then highlight those reviews. Highlight those reviews because then other people can see that other people that they may know are already reaching out to you and getting this help that they're looking for.
Sure.
But if people don't know they can go to you, they won't.
Sure.
Yep. Agreed.
When you said beacon of light, which is a great phrase, I like it better than person of interest, even though it's the same concept, right? We're trying to become a person of interest that people trust and want to reach out to. But I really like beacon of light, and lighthouse is a great example. I thought Statue of Liberty, bring me your tired, you're poor, you're hungry, you're huddled masses, which certainly great for the Medicare space. And then it made me think, can I run an ad with Grace as the Statue of Liberty? Sure,
Probably.
I can. That probably sounds like a great idea, actually.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. But think about it in this way. And you guys all know the answer, but what's the number one challenge that every new agent has to get across when they get someone on the phone? They have to get through the friction of know, like, and trust. So if you can position yourself through ads, through media, through your advertising as that beacon of light, it cuts through all that noise.
Correct.
Like you were saying, because now they already know, like, and trust you. They're the one reaching out to you.
Correct.
And just like you opened it up with, that is the best lead. 100%. I remember the first inbound call that Grace got and closed. Like one call closed, awesome phone call. Person loved her. She loved them. And she looks up at me. She's like, how do we get more of those? I'm like, yeah, I know, right? Those are really good leads.
It's like, wait, you want insurance for me and you're ready to pay right now? Oh, man.
Well, it happened to me because I got a phone call and someone goes, okay, what do you think I should do? And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, you know what you're doing. Just tell me what to do. I'm going to do that. And I'm like, oh, wait, what? I thought I was supposed to sell something, or I'm supposed to, they're like, no. You've already done that. I've been watching you for 6 years.
Wow.
Now, I know that you're the guy.
Yeah. Shut up and take my money.
And
Right?
ain't that the perfect example of insurance isn't a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. Man, I'll tell you, right? Matt, real quick, man, I got to ask you this because I did not know that in the past 9 months you've built the insurance platform to what you have. Can we let's pivot there a little bit, right? Because I think obviously that was a big change for you. We don't necessarily need to get into the reasons for the change, but I do kind of want to talk about some of the emotion and the decision-making processes that were in place when, hey, literally I'm IFG, have been for years, have been rocking and rolling there to where, hey, I'm making some changes in my life and in my business, right? What were some of the emotions there? Because I think, a lot of people may be able to relate or resonate with that where it is. And even Tony himself, right? I mean, with PSN for years, right? And that's an emotional decision where it's like, man, I've been there for so long. I know all these people. I know all these agents that I've helped bring on and support, right? To where then now I'm totally kind of splitting and not necessarily, I shouldn't say split, but going to do my better or to do my own thing, right? To get better in that scenario.
You have to get away from that first.
Right. Well, so talk through some of the emotion behind that decision. Was it difficult? Was it, wow, this was the best decision I've ever made? 9 months from now, probably you're not hating yourself for doing it with having almost 400 agents. But talk through some of that. And then ultimately, I do want to get into, obviously you had the relationships, but still in this very short period of time, how do you bring on 250, 300, 350 agents into the insurance platform? Talk through some of that.
Not easy. I suggest not doing what I did the way that I did it. I bought over the last 9 months or so, I lost around 50 pounds. I bought a house. I'm currently still rebuilding that house with my own hands or with the help of friends. And then I started 2 businesses at the same time. Don't ever do what I did. It's not something that you should do. I was going to leave the insurance business because I was burnt out. I was planning on leaving completely, just walking away. Because I had watched, I don't know how many figures it is, but a near 8 or 9 figure exit of the business. And when you put that much time into a thing and watch it blossom, and then all of a sudden you wake up one day and the new regime is there, the new company is there, the new managers are there, and they go, you guys are number 1 and number 2 with all the carriers. You did 200 and some odd thousand Medicare Advantage policies in a 7. I became self-aware right there, and I went, in that meeting, I just went, what am I doing here? It took me I was like, oh crap, I got left behind. I built it for somebody else. Now, very blessed, right? Very well paid for what I did. Very blessed. And it helped me build my brand over time because I was in front of so many people and got to speak on stages and do those things, right? But I didn't build my agency. I didn't build my thing. And so I felt like the emotions was, I felt like I wasted my time. I felt like that. Because if I would have kept building my agency over a 4-year period, and that would have been my agency,
right?
Where would I have been today? So there's an immediate, oh crap, I lost everything and this isn't going to work. And I got to start all over again. right? Because I put everything that I had into this one thing. And so
Mhm.
this emotional toll that it took on me, and I was burnt out, and I'm like, I think I'm going to leave. And then all of a sudden, my phone started ringing as soon as I decided to walk away. And everybody's like, what the hell are you doing? Because they all knew me as
Right.
Matthew Murray, IFG. And then something happened. The carriers started reaching out and saying, what are you doing? I'm like, what do you mean? And they started offering me direct contracts. And I don't think there's many people that get offered direct contracts, but there's even people get offered to go direct from the insurance carriers.
Right.
Very rare. And I went, all right, I got it. Thank you, Lord. Like, I'm going to take, I understand what that means. It's going to suck, but I got to do it. And then I realized during that time that people did trust me because they were coming to me with their problems still after I left. And so I'm like, well, guys, I don't work for that company anymore. I would love to help you, but I got to learn how to get paid on this thing. Well, we want to put our contracts with you. Okay, great. And I started building those relationships. And before I knew it, it was just like, I kind of woke up again. I kind of woke up one day. I've put my head down over the last 9 months, and I woke up and I'm like, oh crap, I have all these people who are reaching out, and I've got my younger brother, and I've hired people, and it's a blessing, and it happens so rapidly that you don't realize it. And so I don't know if there's an emotion that comes with it. It's just realizing that it happened to me, and I had to move forward, and I had to break out of Matthew Murray within IFG and emerge as somebody else to move on with my life. I don't know if that answers your question.
No, yeah, 100%.
But again, just over time, if you do the right thing, people will reach out to you and want to do business with you. And then when they do reach out to you, if you can perform, it's the important part.
Right.
If you can perform and do the deed that needs to be done, it just continues to go the right way.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, you're literally coming from a dude who, and I'm rocking the shirt, even though it's literally
Redwood,
not even,
baby.
it doesn't even exist anymore. It's a softball team. And so I've been there mentally. I wouldn't maybe necessarily say to that depth, but everybody, I mean, Joe was Redwood, right? Like
Mhm.
that was my baby. I built that thing bootstrap from scratch. Like me and dad, like blood, sweat, and tears, and a lot of, and some debt and all. I mean, you name it, what that went into, and some fights, some ups and downs. And to see that, be purchased last year, but then ultimately seeing the grass is greener. Hey, the opportunity for me to start over is like a blessing in disguise. I think, a really good point that you just made, and I was getting ready to say it, and then you said it too, is when you give, you get. And I think even in those years of maybe, that feeling of, man, I was building somebody else's dream. It wasn't necessarily my name on the door, but dude, the amount of people that you helped along the way, man, it always freaking comes back full circle, man. And that's something I definitely struggle with. It was, I literally give away my time for free, dude. And my time is valuable. Murray's time is valuable, right? And it's next thing I know, I'm, spending an hour on the call just because we're not even doing business together. It's not anything that's driving me revenue. And that was always something I struggled with, was how do I monetize this? But then I also, at the same time, the reason I think that I won and why, I've been able to monetize certain other things is because my mindset is not to how can I make a buck off this person, right?
Mhm.
It's not how can I help this person, right? And typically, again, when you give, when you help, man, it comes back freaking tenfold, man.
I've told myself this a thousand times, and I always say I'm going to do it. My power verse, and I'm a man of faith. It's Luke 6:38, and it's give, and it'll be given to you in the measure that you give it. Shaken up, stirred, pouring, pressed down, right? And in giving is not cash. Giving is your heart, your emotion, your time, your energy toward things. And when you give and you give freely, it'll be given to you in just ways you can't even understand. I keep getting messages of people going, hey, I heard you're the guy to reach out to. And I'm like, when can we jump on a call? And blessings just keep coming my way. And I can't seem to give it out fast enough. So I keep trying to give out information as fast as possible, but things keep coming, and then I just keep getting blessed. So you're right on the mail. It's like, and it's hard when you're going through it, but just continue to give, and you'll just Either way, whether you believe or not, just continue to give the right way and take care of people. We're in the insurance business, and I think a lot of people screw this up. We get so far away from the client that we forget who we're serving. And again, I was at the top of this hierarchy and this FMO, this thing, and I was just like, wait a second, I like serving seniors. And so I went back out in the field and started selling insurance again. It's the funnest thing that you could do. Do I have to do it? No. But it's the funnest thing you can do because it puts you back in perspective, because I went from a 50% contract on a 50% advance with one carrier in one state. And I built and I've done all these different things. But I wanted to go back to and start over with the clients. And like, if you just realize you just serve people and that's your main focus at the heart of everything, and you teach that to all of your agents, the rest take care of itself.
Right. So we'll talk about, let's pivot to agents here.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a very important and powerful message you just said, but is also can be very difficult to get out to the masses when you do have a large downline, partners, whatever you want to call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
On that, what systems, because I know you're a systems guy, and I'm very curious, I actually want to hear this. What systems do you have in place? What are you using? Maybe it's people and systems. What do you have in place when it comes to onboarding a new agent? I've been seeing a lot more of this. This is something that we've spent a lot of time on here at Clearview and building out Jarvie and this whole system that we have now. I mean, it took forever, right? But the ability now to scale is like, I swear it's like 1,000 times easier because I can just assign lessons and they go through the lessons and then it's gamified. I can tell how they did. And then it's not this whole back and forth, like, did you even watch the training, right? And so how do you what's the roles, what's the processes, like what's the systems? Because I think a lot of our agents here in Syndicate could get a lot of value from that, because it is, hey, I'm trying to scale. I'm ready to go. I have been serving my clients for years now, and now I want to show other people. I want to bring other people along the way with me, right?
Sure.
What does that look like for you guys?
Well, yeah, then the conversation needs to again be, how are you branding yourself? Are you branding yourself as the person that's just serving the clients, or are you positioning yourself as the person who is bringing on agents and serving those? And when you first start building your agency, it sucks because you have to do twice the amount of work and make other people successful on top of your own. It's literally, okay, you're a brand new agent, get contracted, go in the field with me. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to see what it's really like. I try to get, and I tell this, I want people to quit. I try to get people to quit because this is the tough part of our industry. I want to go in the field and door knock, and if it's final expense, by the way, and door knock and sell policies and not have appointments and do it the old school way, because I want to see the toughest part of this business. But then when we get done and it's like, hey, by the way, that was a long day, right? Like, we rode in the car for like 10 hours. Like, yeah. I'm like, we made $4,500. And they're like, I'm in. Like, that's
Right.
it, and then it's like, okay, go do that. Go do that. And when you do that over and over and over and over, some of the people that are watching you do it will just start to take off, because they're like, that's all you have to do. Yep. I order this many leads a week. I have this many appointments. And your whole job in the system is like, your whole job, if I'm going to pay you $100,000 a year to sit down and talk to 15 to 20 people a week, would you do it? Everybody says yes. If you do that, you'll probably make $150,000 to $200,000 a year. Like, really? I'm like, yep, let me show you the math. And I show them how much leads cost, how much you're going to spend on gas, how much you're going to spend on taxes, how much you're going to spend on, food and all this other stuff. And then how much money they're going to make from selling these policies. And they're like, I'm in. And then you just show, like, which way do you want to go? Do you want to go final expense? Do you want to go Medicare supplement? You want to go Medicare Advantage? And you're having a system in place for each one of those. And everybody's a little bit different on what they want to do. But when they come to you, you want to have the system for what they want to do. And when you're onboarding an agent, and that's the one thing that we struggle on the most on the insurance platform, because we have so many people joining, it's like me, my little brother, and one other person, and we're like freaking out every single day because like as soon as before I get on this call, I was on the call with my younger brother. Like, where are we at with this person? Where are we at with this person? There's about this person. But Surance Bay is a huge one. If you don't have that for your agency, you have to have Surance Bay. Go High Level is something that you absolutely need for your agency, whether you get it through somebody else or something. But as you're building your email list of your agents, you want to be able to mass communicate to them in real time. So when you need to say something to everybody, instead of you picking up the phone 1,000 times, you need to be able to send out a newsletter. You need to be able to send out a video and send it out to everybody. And then guess what? They're going to reach back out to you. The best lead is the one that is reaching back out to you. Hey, here's a new carrier that we have. Does anybody want to talk about this new carrier?
Yes. Do you use anything as far as chat features go, or do you do that within GHL? Like as far as like
chat features?
Yeah, like I was big on Teams, and now that we've moved to G Suite, I mean Slack is like everything for me. Like we've got channels for all kinds of stuff.
So I used Slack for a long time at my practice company. I like to call it that now. But I've enjoyed Discord more.
Okay.
The other thing that I'm doing, and I learned it from somebody, his name is Samir Palava. If he's on here, I always quote people the first time I use this, but then after that, it's all mine. Right. So Samir, he built an agency within Zoom. And I'm kind of doing it on the insurance platform and on my marketing coaching thing where we log into a Zoom and it's kind of like a virtual office, if you will. There's a breakout room and people come in and drink their coffee, right? And then people go into their own little offices and someone's like, hey, I'm live right now with the client, and other people will join and watch them sell. And then the people are getting contracted in real time. Like, hey, join the Zoom, jump in, let's start having conversations and get you through contracting as soon as possible. Because there's this huge work from home but we also crave one-on-one conversations. And so being able to just transport yourself and just go right into, oh, there's Matthew Murray right there. There's Tony. Hey, Tony. So he's like, hey, well, how can I help? It's just like you have your own office and you have your own little, you have a virtual assistant. It's like, who are you here to see? Oh, I'm here to see Tony. Tony, real quick, your 5 o'clock is here.
Right.
Great. Can you get out of my office? And then someone else jumps right in. And so when you build it that way, there's a culture that comes with it and your agency starts to take off really rapidly.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree on how, I mean,
in Discord.
Tell us. Yeah. In Discord. I do like Discord. I have through FFL, I'm in some FFL Discords as well. And Gaming Syndicate. We actually have, because yes, guys, there's like a Gaming Syndicate group. I can't remember half of our syndicate groups anymore. But we do have the Gaming Syndicate. We actually have our own Discord for that channel for when we're getting together. But question to you on this, Matt. Telesales is super prominent right now, right? Obviously, yeah. I mean, you're talking about, Zoom calls and having people come in your office and you can sell virtually like that. You can obviously sell over the phone. I know thousands of people selling final expense over the phone. When you say in the field, I mean, you actually go out in the field. I know you're not just saying that, right? What are your thoughts on how to either utilize both? Because like Ryan Wimmer, I don't know if you know Ryan Wimmer at all. All they do is go to the field. Like they do not, all they use the phones for is setting those appointments, man. And then they are out there in the house, kneecap to kneecap, like doing their thing. Should they be utilizing one or the other or both? Or is it, hey, make the decision of what you want to do? Because if you try to do both, then you're not going to be as efficient. I've never been in the field. Let me just make that clear. I've only ever sold over the phone. I've never sold. I mean, maybe I've sold one or two policies total. And it was like an auto body shop that I went and like did a self-inspection. And the guy was like, can I just pay you now? And I was like, shit, yeah. Do you have Wi-Fi? I was planning to go back to the office and then call you and sell this. Talk through some of that, because they both still work. Obviously, they both still make money. You can still go out in the field and knock on a door and work a 10-hour day and make almost $5,000. Like it's totally a thing. What are your thoughts on that?
So I'm gonna go into my answer, but as you can probably tell, I'm long-winded and I'll get into some stories. I want to see what Tony's thoughts are on this first. And then I'm gonna give you the best answer that I think I can come up with, not because I need more time. I just like Tony's thoughts on these things.
You got to pick a lane. Either you're a phone salesperson or you're a field person. You can't do both, in my opinion. You can't do both and do them really, really well at a frequency that is scalable. Right?
Yep.
I can't take a dude and put him on the phone half of the time selling and then in the field half of the day selling and expect that is going to be something that is duplicable and scalable, because it's not. Now, if you want to do that as an individual agent and that works for you, because that's the way you like to work and you want to keep it, knock yourself out, man. But here's the way I look at it. And I'm a phone sales guy for a couple of reasons. And I was in the field. I started in the field. I graduated to phone sales. And the reason why I graduated to phone sales specifically is because I can see more people in a shorter period of time. I understand that sales is a numbers game. The more people I can see, the more money I make, right? I also can cherry pick my territory a lot better. I'm not stuck to my own backyard. If I know that the honey hole is in 2 states over from me in a different county in Paducah, Kentucky or something like that, I can go run ads in that area and make money, right? Telephone gives me that ability. I can build a deeper relationship in the field with my clients a lot of times, though. So yes, you will have a little higher retention. It ain't that much higher. I can sell more to make up for the retention on the phone is the way I look at it. But another reason why I say you can't try to do both. And I've watched many agents. I watched my wife go through this. She had to do it twice before it finally sunk into her head not to make the mistake again. But she's trying to run a phone sales business. And the reason she was trying to run a phone sales business is because I taught her in the field. We ran appointments in the field for 2 weeks, and then we sold on the phone for 2 weeks. And I said, which one do you want to do? And she's like, I want to be on the phone. I'm like, perfect. And then I can model her marketing after that. But later on, as she got rolling in her phone sales career that she said that's what she wanted to do, she had a couple of people call her that were 2 hours away or an hour and a half away from her office. And so they said, hey, can you come visit us in our home? And because she was hungry and hadn't made enough sales yet, and she was still just getting going, she betrayed her own work model and spent 5 hours, an hour and a half driving to the house, couple hours presenting to them, another hour and a half driving back with how many sales? None. In those same 5 hours, how many more people could she have spoken to and grown her pipeline if she had just realized, hey, those 2 people that are asking me to break my stride, they're not my customers.
Right.
Those are really good points. I agree with you on a lot of those things. So much has changed since COVID, right? So many people have gone to, we've seen mega call centers just pop up out of nowhere because of COVID.
Right.
And so many people are going to the call center model. What I can tell you from the field is this. When I sit down with a client, I watch their phone ring 9 times while I'm there.
Doesn't surprise
me. And they
me.
go, I'm so glad that you're here. My phone won't stop ringing. Now, this is final expense. This is Medicare. You know, PNC might be completely different.
This is also a segment of the marketplace. This isn't
correct
100% of the marketplace.
Correct.
The argument that I have on this is because I don't care if your model is telesales. I don't care if it's snail mail. I don't care if it's knocking on doors, what it is. You will never capture 100% of the marketplace.
100%.
The marketplace do you need? Just need some of it. And we know in insurance, especially in the game like Medicare, where renewals are there, and I've already told people the math, you only need 5/1000ths of 1% in the whole Medicare market to make $1 million. So cut out your 5/1000ths of 1% and work the model that you want.
It gets you there
and get you there. Right.
Correct.
They're both correct. And so I didn't mean to interrupt you and cut you off.
You're good. 100%.
You can 100% because and where you're going with this is perfectly said. Because of COVID, because of the pop-ups of call centers and the number of agents that have gravitated to telesales and came to like it, or Zoom sales, it has created a vacuum for the agent that is still willing to go out there belly to belly and talk to people face to face.
Correct. But then I also have, and this is a weird thing that's been happening over the last couple of weeks for me that I've really started to see this. I'm getting telesales agents who have been doing this for a year who have never seen the field.
Right.
and they're going,
Like this guy.
I think I'm supposed to go in the field. And I'm like, okay, tell me why. And they're like, because I used to be a barista at this, and I'm used to talking to people. And now I'm making dials, nobody picks up. And then when they do pick up, I'm fumbling because I'm just, my mental psyche is not there. I think at one point people should experience the field of the client they're serving.
Yes.
Because it will help them become a better telesales agent if that's the path that they choose.
Yep.
And again, I'm speaking on Medicare and final expense. And the reason I say Medicare and final expense and Medicare supplement is because of AI too. There's this huge pendulum swing to where some of the agents don't even know what's going on. So imagine from a client's perspective what they're experiencing. And they just want to talk to a real human and be like, hey, how do I know it's really you? And so as long as you can do that over the phone, or if you need to go out and see that person to let them know that you're there to help them, you're there to get something to them, not take something from them, you'll make every single sale. I believe at one point a telesales agent should experience the field, whether it be with somebody or by yourself, just experiencing inside of a home, because it puts a lot of perspective for you as the agent, what the client is going through on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
If seeing their homes, being inside of their homes and seeing what's going on with them, and they're like, hey bro, like this is what I got. And there's some of the nicest people. Like I've gone to homes that they make $1,000 a month, and I go in, they're like, you want a Dr. Pepper? I got the Pepsi. I got all this stuff. And they're like the nicest people in the world. They just want to serve.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then I've seen the same people pick up the phone and be like, I'm tired of talking to you. Just quit calling me. And I try to put them on the do not call list. They don't want to do it. It's just, there's a weird thing going on in the industry. And I agree with you like 1,000%, Tony. Like you got to choose your lane, but I also think that you should experience it one way or the other. I'm not a telesales guy, but I've sold things over the phone to realize that I'm not a telesales agent.
See, and I really like this conversation because I kind of want to challenge some of this, because I think a telesales person would actually be better in the field by starting in telesales. And the reason I say that is because of rejection. Getting rejected by somebody face to face is way different than somebody just hung up on me and I'm on to the next one. Right. And I think getting those in how many, and I also say this too, because of the reps. The reason I believe in telesales, don't get me wrong, could I go out there and totally crush in the field? I'm 100% confident myself that I could, but my time value is it makes more sense for me to sit here and dial and pound the phones and do it that way, just again, for the sake of time and what I'm trying to sell. But I also think that allowed me to have that many more reps to where then, hey, I do have that incidental experience. And that experience is, wait, you do insurance? And it's like, hell yeah. Like, what do you want to talk about? Right. Because I've talked about it time and time and time and time again, where it almost makes me better in person by having all of the years of reps over the phone and dealing with the rejection and the FUs, to where then it is almost, I mean, kind of to your point too, though, it could be pretty damn refreshing, right? When you're like, oh man, what a good conversation, and like somebody just totally understanding and gives you all their information. And yeah, you just let me know, no rush, honey, like those types of things. Like, whew, yeah, that felt good, right? Like 100% agree on that side. But I think the telesales, almost because of the reps, and I mean, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, you definitely see burnout in the field because people cannot take that face-to-face rejection, right? Or that door slam. And then they're like, man, I still have to go knock on how many more doors? Like, how many more appointments do I have? And then they start getting in their own head, like, this is just going to happen again all day. And then they'll manifest that themselves, right?
Yeah, there's a mindset training that you have to go through. And I got classically trained on final expense. And by that, I mean, I was taught in a way that is way different than anything else. I got taught about rejection early, about what's going to happen in rebuttal training for a long time. And then I was given a walk list. It wasn't leads. It was a walk list. And go knock on the doors and have these conversations. I got told no so many times that it doesn't even faze me. It doesn't even begin to faze me anymore.
Right.
And I got told something. The person that gets told no the most actually gets told yes the most too. And so to Tony's point, if he can have 15 dials and 13 of them told him no, and there's 2 sales out of it, what does he care?
Right.
Right. It's 2 sales. But here's the important part: telesales or field. When you've done it enough, you've gone through those repetitions, you're going to suck less. When you start, you're going to suck.
Yeah.
But the compounding effect of sucking less is insane. Mm-hmm. So when you suck and you have 15 calls or 15 presentations and you only close, you only close 4 of them. Well, next week or next time you have 15 presentations, 6 months from now, you're going to close 4, then you're going to close 9 because you've gotten better.
Right.
Well, now you're like tripling your income almost just by sucking a little bit less. The insurance business is this weird business that the longer you stay in it, the more successful you become because you suck less. You're going to get better over time. You just got to get through that really crappy part of sucking.
We talked about this Monday in our development meeting about just understanding the concept of investing in loss.
Like
and take those reps and those bloody noses and those door slams and those rejections and those mistakes as understanding that they are part of the learning curve and you are investing in your growth.
Right.
You got it.
Michael Jordan was not Michael Jordan out the womb, and that would be really weird if he was. But I also shout out to Kenny Sawyer, who was on the show a couple weeks ago, I think, just regarding the word no. And I loved how he said it. It's like, dude, if I'm getting a no, that just means no is not no. It just means next opportunity. Mm-hmm. And I love that, where it's like, okay, on to the next, right? Because the more no's I can get, then I know, again, this insurance industry, like the space that we are in, y'all, it is ultimately a freaking numbers game. So you're only going to get so many no's until you get a yes, even if you do suck. Like there is somebody who needs you, right? And because of what Tony was saying earlier, how big this marketplace is, like, again, even if you're trash, your script is bad, you don't even 100%, like you're fumbling over your words, you will literally get a yes if you talk to that enough people, right? Or if you keep sticking with it, or if you knock that many doors. No is just on to the next opportunity. So yeah, I love that. Real quick here for the last couple minutes, what's next for Matt Murray, right? I mean, okay, so the insurance platform is freaking blowing up. Obviously, you've got your consulting, coaching, marketing thing that you're doing. We didn't even necessarily get into that, which maybe we'll have to bring you on to another show because I'd love to get more into that side of things as well. What's next, dude? I mean, you've got, so what are you? Are you an IMO? Is that what it's called, or an FMO, or I don't know what the hell. I'm a PNC guy, so I don't.
Doctor, it says it right on the screen.
Doctor. Oh, so you're going to school to be a doctor? I remember when I told people I was doing that, and it was April Fool's, and people legit were calling the agency like, because I was going to get my doctorate in physical therapy or something, and people are about to try and move their policies because they thought I quit insurance. I was like, whoa, no, April Fools, y'all, April Fools.
Yeah, so I got my honorary doctorate because I dropped out of high school twice. I have the record in my high school for dropping out the most. No one's done twice. It was me. I quit, went back, and quit again. But I've done so many things in business that I found out you can get your honorary doctorate if you just go to a college and pay, and then you write your dissertation of all the things you've done in business.
Oh, no,
and they'll either send you your doctorate or not. So I have it over here.
No
right?
way. Sick.
Yeah, it didn't cost me a whole lot of money, so it's an honorary doctorate. But I'm like, fuck it, call me doctor, because I'm a surgeon in business. I understand how to do these things,
like
right? That. But what's next for Matthew Murray is I decided on the lead side, because I was known as the lead guy, to stop making leads, stop generating leads for people, because I've done it for 7 years and I just don't enjoy doing it anymore. I felt like I've served my time there, and I don't want to be known as the lead guy. I've had to realize that I'm a coach for a lot of people. So my coaching program is I'm only limited to 100 people. And that way I'm not burning myself out and I'm not spending too much time on it. But I really want to focus on 100 people at a time, and they can join and quit as much as they want. It's kind of like a school or a university where they get to come and learn at their own pace. In the middle of that, I'm growing the insurance platform simultaneously. And eventually one of those things is going to be like, I have to stop doing this marketing thing and I got to focus all on the insurance. But a lot of it is marketing is paying the bills, while the insurance, I'm funding everything back into insurance. And so as the agency is growing, marketing is just paying the bills.
Mm-hmm.
And then really what's in the future for Matthew Murray, I know this sounds stupid because I'm in Murrayville, North Carolina. I have to get a post office here, and then I can run for mayor of Murrayville. Win, lose, or indifferent, it's good marketing.
Hell yeah. The mayor of Murrayville, Matt Murray. That's freaking hilarious. I want to, hey, real quick, we did have a comment, and I think it's a good point, Mark, too, talking about just in person versus over the phone. And definitely depends on the product and the value prop that you are trying to present with your clients. He said that we personally are trying to get full financial planning clients and sell several different insurance and investment products. So I believe in person is the best process for us.
Likely so. You know, sometimes if you're the simplicity of your product itself or complexity of your product itself may decide that for you. If it's, you know, I know there are guys that sell annuities over the phone and IULs over the phone and stuff, but still, like if you're doing some more
planning,
deeper products like that, advanced markets,
you got it. Yeah, you really want to, you know, you're dealing with people's millions of dollars. Like they want to sit down with you and like look at you in the eye and be like, "Are you going to screw me over, buddy?" Like they can't.
No,
you
can hop on. You can hop in my Zoom if you want. It's like, dude, I'm trying to give you literally like $5 million. Exactly. I would drive to you, man. I got you.
Well, I'll take a road trip for that one.
Yeah,
you know, it's probably worth it. But.
Okay, so mayor of Murrayville, man. Well, dude, as we kind of close out here, guys, if you have any final questions for Matt, feel free to drop those in the comments. If you are catching the replay, totally feel free to drop them in the comments. We will circle back and make sure we get those answered for you. The viewership on this show has been like record viewership, bro. We've had a ton of live people on here the entire show, so we appreciate y'all's attendance. Dr. Matthew Murray, how can people reach out to you, man? And no, he's not going to help you generate leads, okay? So don't reach out to him for leads, but if you want to reach out to him for anything else, how can they do so, Matt?
Well, I won't make you leads. I think the done for you system is kind of broken. I call it a done with you system. That's what I view it as. It's done with you. I want you to learn these things. People can reach out to me on Facebook. I'm easy to find. It's Matthew Murray. Instagram, it's Murray the Marketer. I just think that's funny. I can try to do as many M's as possible. I think I'm on Twitter, but I couldn't tell you the last time I did it. But you can reach out to me. You can reach out to
not called Twitter anymore, so let's start there. But
do what?
It's not even called Twitter anymore.
Is it X? Yeah, that's how old I am. Right? I don't even know anymore. It's still Twitter to me, man. It's I still have the blue bird icon on my phone. I didn't update it. I got a beeper phone, man. But people can reach out to me on Facebook, or they can reach out to me via email, Matthew@murraymarketing.net. And if you're interested in the insurance side, it's mmurray@theinsuranceplatform.net.
Love it, dude. Love it, man. Any parting words here, Mr. Merwin? Close us out.
Man, I love myself some Matt Murray. I really appreciate you coming on. It's great to catch up with you. I have been following you for quite some time, and we haven't really touched on it, but you lost 50 pounds. In what? In how long? What, 6, 7, 8 months? Something like that?
Yes. I really started walking back in October of last year. Something changed in my mindset, and I started walking. And then I just kept keeping active. So I started doing volleyball, and that and a caloric deficit just made me lose a ton of weight. But it was really what it was. Is I was watching people like you, Tony, and you're sitting there drinking this green stuff every single day. And I'm like, well, if Tony's doing it, I got to do it too. So, you know, I lost 50 pounds, and
let's go.
It's like I lost a 9-year-old. Right. It's like I look back and I'm like, holy crap, that's a crap ton of weight. And I feel great. It almost, when I look at myself, I'm like, I don't really look that different to me, but everybody's like, no, you lost 50 pounds, bro.
Yeah. Well,
like
you
50 pounds is a lot.
Day slower, right? So that's why I made that comment. Don't shave your beard until you get to the end of your weight loss goal, because I did that once. This was back when I was 240, and I let my beard grow until I could get below 190 pounds. And so it kept getting bigger and bigger and fuller and fuller. And then the day I weighed in at 189, I went and got my hair cut and shaved my beard, and I did not recognize myself. It was absolutely night and day. It was freaky.
Well, I'm like 177 now, so I'm like close to 60 pounds, right?
Beautiful.
And I feel like an old lady can push me over. So I'm starting to eat a lot more, and like I'm like eating ice cream. I'm like, I gotta beef back up, right? But I did shave because I wanted to get what I like to call my pre-insurance weight.
Yeah.
Which was like 187. So when I hit that, I did shave, like you said, and it was like, I was like, who is this little boy? What is this person, dude?
Absolutely.
And my wife was like, what did you do? And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I did not expect this to happen. But it feels great when you're losing it, and you just weight loss to me now is just doing one thing consistently and forgetting about it. And for me, it was waking up in the morning at 5:30, walking 20 minutes that way, and turning around and walking back home. That was it. I didn't do any crazy workouts. I didn't do that stuff. Just walked.
Yeah.
Just walked.
There you go.
It's good.
There's an old expression. I believe it is Portuguese. I'm not sure. Salvator ambulando, which means solved by walking. So there you go. Thanks for tuning in, guys, man. Thank you for coming and stopping by with us, Mr. Murray. Dab or it ain't live. Like always, guys, man, we are here on Wednesdays. We're here live, 9 a.m. That's how we do it. We're going to do it like that every single week. If you're not following us here, follow us on YouTube, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram. We're everywhere. And we'll see you next week for Winning on Wednesday.
Let's go. It's the peak of the week, y'all. No just means the next opportunity. Appreciate y'all. Thanks, Matt. Later, guys.
You guys.